Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those muscle cars from the 60s, which I think the 60s were the number one decade for muscle cars, yes, I got you covered. If you like those big lanyards, even better. Well, let's get to the point. What I got for you right now is a 143 scale 1968 Dodge Coronet 440. 440. Now, this was a car that was big, it was powerful, and big again because it was a big car. You can see how long is the engine bay area and how long is the trunk. So this car had the big front and a big back. Even though it's a two-door, make sure you don't miss the trunk because boy, that trunk is probably the size of a Fiat altogether. But that's how cars were back in the days, especially actually not all over the world. We're talking about North American cars. These were the ones that they like. These are the ones that were popular. The bigger, the better, the more powerful, the bigger engine, even better. 6.0, 7.0s, bring them on. Bigger and better. All right, let's see. Let's get some information. Now, the Dodge Coronet, this right here was I tell you right now, it was the fifth generation of the Dodge Coronet, which it came in 1965 all the way down to 1970. Those were the years that this car was built, this model specifically. They came in a few different ways. They came as a four-door wagon, a four-door sedan, a two-door sedan, a two-door coupe, a two-door hardtop, and a two-door convertible. You couldn't miss it. You couldn't miss if you want one of them, you got one of them. If you wanted a different, you couldn't miss the the style that you wanted it. You got from a convertible all the way down to a station wagon. So you got it all. This car right here, engine base, engine size actually. Let's see these because they got some big, big engines. All right, we got I'm gonna read them all from the Dodge Coronet. It doesn't all apply to this model, but they all apply to the model that we are talking about. You have a 3.7 cylinder, and that's the only six cylinder right here. Then after that, they're all V8s. We have a 4.5, a 5.0, then we have a 5.9, 6.3. We have a 7.0, and if you think 7.0 was big, we even have a 7.2. Boy, oh boy, those were big, big engines, at least in size, and they're torquey. They're not just weak engines. That's why they're muscle cars. Transmissions, we have a 3-speed, and we also have a 4-speed manual, and then you also had a 3-speed automatic. Okay, not bad, not bad. I think it's a good looking. Obviously, they're related with the other. Now they call them Stellantis, but before, back in the days, were the Chrysler Corporation, and they're related to, example, the Plymouth Belvedere, related to the Dodge Charger, related to the Plymouth GTX, which I can see that in this one, and also related to the famous Plymouth Roadrunner. Beep beep, the same one. All right, everyone. I'm gonna let this beautiful car go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. I forgot to let you guys know this model, which was a fifth generation of the Dodge Coronet, ran between 1965 till 1970. But throughout those 5 year period, it had like a bit of refreshed look. I think in 1968. So this is actually right when they got a little bit touch up, on their look. But the model itself, the fifth generation, ran from 1965 till 1970. All right, everyone. Let me know in the comments below. My usual questions. Have you seen this big lanyard in your country? Because I know these muscle cars, they were not popular back in the days, but now, as a classic, and they stand out because of their size and how they look quite, mean or racy. And people used to watch the movies back in days like the Dukes of Hazard and other movies that had these American cars in it, and then bring memories to them. So now they like them a lot more. But let me know, do you see them in your local car show? Or they ever sold in your country? Have you ever seen them in person altogether? Maybe when you came as a tourist to North America, or maybe another country that had them. Definitely let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up that I always appreciate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And don't forget to click and subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves. As I always say, more than ever, and goodbye.